Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Center of Pittsburgh. It's a lovely Sunday morning. We're very glad you're here. You're here in person, you're here virtually. So we're very happy that you have come. We're going to start off with a couple songs. The first one is The Abundance Blessing. I love this song. It's always so important to remember how very much we have to be grateful for. I give thanks for the abundance in my life. I give thanks for the abundance in my life. I give thanks for the abundance as Spirit flows among us. I give thanks for the abundance in my life. I give thanks for all the bounty in my life. I give thanks for all the bounty in my life. I give thanks for all the bounty as the love of God surrounds me. I give thanks for all the bounty in my life. I give thanks for all the treasure in my life. I give thanks for all the treasure in my life. I give thanks for all the treasure. Giving back is such a pleasure. I give thanks for all the treasure in my life. I give thanks for all the treasure. Giving back is such a pleasure. I give thanks for all the treasure in my life. And our next song is one of my all-time favorites. Louis Armstrong does it best. In case you've never heard him do it, tune in. What a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
It's great to be here and to see you, and it truly is a wonderful world. And it's a gorgeous day here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the Unity Center of Pittsburgh. And as Ronnie said, we welcome you. It's great to see you in person and to connect with you digitally. I'm Reverend Patty Perhacs. I will be leading the service. Ronnie will be entertaining us and lifting that vibration with her song and her music. And we have Unity Spiritual Director Maryann Hackworth, who will present our message today, The Power of Imagination. Unity is a new thought philosophy, and our mission is to continue to create a loving and inclusive community dedicated to teach, to inspire, and to practice positive spiritual living. Here at Unity, we imagine a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. And so it is. So let's have our first song of our service. Ronnie, I'll turn it back over to you.
We had our first two songs.
Well, yeah, okay. So I know that. I was here for that.
On my sheet, it doesn't have.
Okay, well then let's just.
I can just sing if you want.
How about if we just go into prayer then? How about if we go into prayer and we'll sing more later, and let's just carry that song that's in our heart forward in our prayer. How's that? Oh. So Divine Creator, Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we open our hearts and our minds and our voices to receive, to feel your presence, to speak your light. May your light continue to shine down upon us. May we open our hearts ever so fully to receive. And may we lead with the wisdom through our compassionate hearts, rather than through our mind and our personality. We put that aside and we let that light shine through us as we remember and we recall who we are, the truth of who we are, that divine spirit of the one loving creator that we call God. Let us unify today and every day in the thought and in the inspiration, in the power of us to perceive and to conceive of a peace and love in our world. And so it is. I'm going to light our Christ candle now, our Unity candle. It's a white light that I love to share the story of why and how we light it. And we do so, with that realization, that intention to bring that light forth in our lives and in our service and our community here at Unity and out throughout the neighborhood, if you will. And to remind ourselves that we are one with God, we are one with light, and we are never alone. Even in our darkest hours, we feel that presence. We just have to go within and to connect and to affirm. So let's, with that light in mind and with that power of intention, let's recite our 5 Unity principles together. Aloud. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Through prayer and meditation, we increase our conscious contact with God, bringing forth love and wisdom and health and everything good. Knowledge of these principles is not enough. We must live them. The Daily Word. The Daily Word is a booklet published by Unity. And I've been receiving this for many, many years, and I love giving this to friends and family as a gift. Because what it does is, if you choose to receive it, and maybe you do this in your practice today, you open up your Daily Word in your morning, you get a thoughtful message, and you set your intention on that light, on those words, on those thoughts for your day. And today, the affirmation, in which we'll work with and recite 3 times aloud, is, the Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. Let's say that together. The Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. The Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. The Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. And that affirmation, reminds us and recognizes, if you're new to Unity, the idea that God, that Christ consciousness, which is an awareness, an activation of unconditional love for all humanity, is all within us. That capability is all within us. And this is a fabulous affirmation to remember that we attract that good to us. The daily word reads, on a clear day when a stray cloud passes across the sun, I notice the suddenly diminished light. Then, looking up, I see brilliant rays of sunshine surrounding the clouds. Instead of hiding the sun, the cloud helps me to appreciate the sun's radiance. Just take a moment and imagine that cloud with the sun behind it and see those rays shining forth. For as the sun lights the earth and is the source of its energy, the Christ, that divine presence within you, within me, is our light and the source of everything we need in order to live brilliantly and joyfully. When, like a passing cloud, an obstacle or challenge along our path may seem to dim that Christ light, we respond by looking up, by raising our point of view, by changing our perspective, by remembering that truth of who we are. We are then reassured and strengthened, knowing that the divine radiance is shining as brightly as ever. No cloud can dim the divine light in us. And it is written in John chapter 1, verse 5, the light in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. And so it is. So let's take a moment and let's think of the children in our lives and in the world, the Unity kids that we all know and love. And let's bring those children to our mind's eye and into our heart. And let's also think about all the world's children, those in need as well. And let us offer a prayer that each child know that they are a wonderful child of the one loving God, and that may they awaken to the awareness of their gifts, the fullness of their beauty that is both inside and out, and their importance in this world. We pray that all children are well fed, that are healthy, loved, and nourished in body, mind, and spirit. And so it is. We do have a couple of announcements for today. Just want to remind people that we could use your help in volunteering, as an usher. All that really is you decide to sign up on a particular Sunday when you want to be at Unity anyway, and you just agree to greet people as they come in and to welcome them. It's really that simple, and if you're interested in doing that, please reach out to us and we'll help you get scheduled, and there's more information, of course, on our website. And now we do have a special announcement on our fundraiser. Let's roll the commercial.
You'll be wrapping up your evening with me, your auctioneer, live and in person. What are we going to auction off? Well, some great items provided by you talented people. Some of the services that will be provided: dog sitting, babysitting, how about gardening and weeding, maybe a massage. Who will give me $30, $35, $40, maybe $40, $50 for a massage? Sold. Remember, all these funds go to the Unity Center of Pittsburgh. Let's be there for a great evening. Go to the fundraiser website, sign up for your special services. Let's have a great, great evening. 5, 10, let me give me 20, 25, sold. Let's go.
That's right. Be sure to mark your calendars for September 11th, and I direct you to our website to get more information, to volunteer if you want to, and just to get involved. Lovely, lovely song coming. I can hear the heavens opening up and singing. Oh, that was lovely. Perfect timing. So let's, with that joyful heart, with that smile in our heart, let us think about prayer and those individuals, those situations in our lives, in the world that are in need of upliftment, of prayer, of good health, of light and wholeness. Unity was founded on that realization of the power of prayer to heal. So let's, in our mind's eye, begin to think of those individuals and situations. And while we do, Ronnie will lead us in a song, and we'll have more prayer, and then we'll move into our meditation.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power, joy and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
It in action in our lives and in this world. And in this moment, let's think of those folks who are ill and working through a challenge of a disease or other sickness. And we especially bring the thoughts of a friend here of Unity, Rachel, who is undergoing chemotherapy. And let's bring all those other individuals some light of love. Let us affirm wholeness and healing as they continue on their path, on their journey in this life. And let's think of all those individuals who are dealing with financial challenges in their lives. Let us pray that they find their way to abundance, fulfilling work, life-sustaining work, recognizing the truth of who they are and their beautiful capabilities to serve God in any way, shape, or form and earn an income. Let us bring to our mind's eye all the different countries within this world and all those leaders of all the nations. Let us hold them in the light. See that light shining, surrounding them, lifting their thoughts to not one, but to all of humanity, for the greater good of this earth, for the greater good of all peoples, all races, all genders. We see that light shining down brightly upon this world. We feel it fill us and uplifting us. We know it shines through our eyes as well as our heart. We give thanks, we rejoice of thy presence. And so it is.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power, joy and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Now let us, in this energy, in this place, let us begin our deep breathing as we prepare for meditation. Take a deep breath, fill your lungs and your abdomen, and exhale. And if you will, raise your eyes to that place just above the bridge of your nose and look out through that mind's eye, that spiritual eye. And if you will, imagine yourself. It's a warm, warm evening, and you're sitting outdoors in a comfortable chair. And you're looking up in the sky, for it's a very clear night. And you see many, many stars shining brightly in the sky. The moon is waxing. It's a perfect night. You see a star flash dancing across the sky. And you make a wish. You offer a prayer. Do so now. And as you feel those and look and see those stars twinkling above, you feel the light shining down upon you as well. And you become aware of that presence of God around about you and shining forth from you. I leave you here in this place to feel that connection and to hear the words of Spirit. This moment, in this place, we are whole. And we feel that presence. And we recognize that presence within us. We feel it. We give thanks for that divine creator. We give thanks for the love and all of nature and all the gifts bestowed upon us. And as we look out into that vast universe, we realize that we are just part of something so big. But we are part and particle of that whole. And here on earth, we too shine brightly. We are like the stars in the night. We embrace the sun and the moon equally. And we go through our life shining our bright light, fulfilling our purpose and service. And we are grateful. So it is. So bring yourself back to this place, to your awareness in your room, as we say Om, peace, amen. And now we will have another song by Ronnie Weiss. Ronnie.
Thank you. So this song is called A Better World. It was written by a musician friend of mine named Roddy Barnes. One summer I had the great good fortune to attend a music camp in West Virginia, and Roddy was an instructor there, a fabulous songwriter. And as soon as I heard this song, I really loved it, and I always wanted to sing it in this kind of a setting. It's written kind of in a future tense, and we at Unity understand that we, in fact, are creating as we go. So we create in the present, and hopefully it carries through to the future. And if we are all creating with love and light, then this is the result. A better world. There's gonna be a better world someday, where glory will prevail. Voice by voice it will be heard. There's gonna be a better world. There's gonna be a better world, I know, where joy is born from all our sorrow. Weeping is no more. There's gonna be a better world someday. All of the mountains are gonna tremble with peace. Rivers of compassion are gonna flow. I do not know just how long it will be. But this I know, there's gonna be a better world someday. Step by step, freedom will take us all the way. This I know, I am sure, there's gonna be a better world someday. All of the mountains, they're gonna tremble with peace. Rivers of compassion are bound to flow. I do not know just how long it will be. But this I know, there's gonna be a better world someday. Step by step, freedom will take us all the way. This I know, I am sure, there's gonna be a better world someday. There's gonna be a better world.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
And yeah, the world just keeps getting better with one thought, one vision at a time. And that was the perfect song as an introduction for Maryann's talk today. A better world through the power of imagination.
Yeah, let me just. I think that will be good. Sit straight. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for your patience at home. We had to make a little adjustment this morning because I invited Michelangelo to be a part of the talk on imagination. which I'm delighted to be here and give to you. I hope it inspires you in whatever way it's intended to do. I'd like to begin with a beautiful quote by a Unity co-founder, so simple and yet so true. Man and the universe are a series of pictures in the mind of being. Man and the universe are a series of pictures in the mind of being. The mind of God has dreamed us up through the power of imagination. So I just wanted to open with that. And also I wanted to share with you another quote from James Dillett Freeman. Do you know James Dillett Freeman? He was a poet, and he's considered the poet laureate for unity. He was born in 1912 in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. And when he was a boy, his mother moved them to Kansas City, Missouri. Him and his wife, or his sister and his mother moved to Kansas City, Missouri. And his name originally was Abraham Freeman. His father had immigrated from Eastern Europe. He was Jewish. And early on, he took on that name of James, and it became his pen name as he was a writer and a poet and an author, and he was a speaker, was well known. He became very active at Unity, and he was actually in charge of silent Unity for decades, and he founded the ministry program at Unity in Kansas City, Missouri. So every Sunday at Unity, we recite one of James Dillett Freeman's prayers. At the very end of our service today, we will recite the prayer for protection, which is the light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. It's a power prayer. So I wondered when I was reading about James Dillett Freeman, do you suppose when he was a little boy in Delaware that he looked up at the sky, maybe he went to the beach, I don't know. We talked about the cosmos earlier. Patty was talking about looking at the stars and that big, beautiful moon in the sky. You all love those full moons, don't you? We're drawn to the moon. It's so gorgeous. Do you suppose that maybe little Abraham Freeman looked up and said, someday I'm going to go to the moon. Someday I'm going to be on the moon. Maybe. I don't know if he said it or not. Maybe he dreamed it as a little boy. I won't be able to ask because he passed. He made his transition in 2003. But what you may not know about James's prayer for protection is that it was taken to the moon. It was taken there by the astronaut Buzz Aldrin on Apollo 11 in 1959. It was taken up as his prayer for protection. Buzz Aldrin wanted to surround himself with that. And I was thinking in my mind about little Abraham Freeman becoming James Dillett Freeman. Would he ever in his wildest dreams imagine that he would have his poem on the moon? Not only the prayer for protection poem, but later in 1971, his poem, I Am There. He wrote that poem, I Am There, when his first wife, Catherine, was diagnosed with cancer. And he was so devastated and in such a feeling of loss that he sat down and he was inspired to write from the perspective of God, saying, I am there. And that poem flowed through his imagination and onto paper. And then in 1971, on Apollo 15, the astronaut James B. Irwin took that poem to the moon on a microfilm, and it remains on the moon. Our Unity Poet Laureate has a poem on the moon. Now think about that in your imagination, in your wildest dreams. Ronnie, have you ever thought to yourself, my song is going to be on microfiche on the moon? or perhaps this recording today of The Power of Imagination by Maryann Hackworth, one day will sit on the moon. These are ideas that are like so far-fetched, right? They're the stretch of our imagination. Can't even wrap our brain around it. And yet, this is the way we create. This is how we actually manifest our future. As we said earlier, the future arises from the power within our own mind. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore understood this back in the day. They said, the eye of your mind saw the superb thing you were capable of bringing forth. The eye of your mind is capable of bringing forth the future that you desire. But the tricky part is, right? The tricky aspect of humanity is that we tend to get stuck by looking at what's right here in our hand in front of us, and typically it's a phone. And we're looking at our phones, and there's lots of facts, lots of good facts in there, right? We can just Google it, we can find whatever we need to know, and we've placed such value on facts, right? Well, Albert Einstein, would you not agree, one of the brilliant minds in human history, he said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Put your phones down. Imagination is more important than knowledge. He said, logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. It will take you to the moon. Imagination is the active power. It is one of the 12 powers, by the way, that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore designated exist within us. It exists within your consciousness. But yet for some reason, and maybe the kids who are present in this room today will attest to this, we seem to think that only kids have an imagination, that somehow we grow out of that, right? And we discourage that as adults. Oh, don't be so far-fetched with your crazy imagination. You could never accomplish that, James. You can't be on the moon, right? Somewhere in line, we have to set aside what sits in front of us. As James Dillett Freeman said, imagination is a power that frees us from the limitations of our senses. And as you know, we are sense beings. We smell, we taste, we hear, we touch. We have all of the proprioceptive capacities, and that's what we have placed our value on. That's our real world. Stay real, right? Can we rise above it and actually utilize our senses? Well, sure we can. I mean, we do that in our meditations, right? We sit and we allow the beauty of perhaps color and sound and light just to fill our minds. We can do it, but it is a muscle that we have to work on. We have to practice. It takes practice. Albert Einstein said this: a human being is part of the whole called the universe. We experience ourselves as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion in consciousness. An optical delusion in our consciousness is that we're somehow separated from this one power, this one wholeness that we here call God. But by whatever name you give it, you may call it divine mind, divine intelligence, being, essence, source, imagination, coming into earthly form by this power. This picture, I have it in my home. Typically, it's in my hallway. People sometimes come in and they look at it and they're like, why do you have that picture here? It does throw people off. Why, I don't know. I mean, it's on the Sistine Chapel ceiling, right? It's a masterpiece. That alone should be reason enough to make a copy of it, which is what I did, and I tried to enlarge it. And the reason I did is because this painting by Michelangelo, done in the year 1511, represents to me the divine mind of God, inspiring and creating humanity, me, the divine mind within my mind. And you know why I think that? It's because I'm not the only one. Someone else used their imagination. This gentleman by the name of Frank Lynn Meshberger, a physician that in 1990, he's a physician in Anderson, Indiana, and he started looking, I guess, he was inspired by this painting. And what he did was, he took an image of a lateral view of the human brain. This is the lateral of the human brain, and there's this painting. Odd. Looks a little like a brain. Well, isn't that funny? Well, this seems to be the frontal lobe. And right here, there's this little crevice that's called the Sylvian fissure. It separates the frontal lobe from the parietal and the temporal lobes in our brain. Wow. And this angel laying down along there, it seems to be supporting God's weight. I don't know why God's weight would need supported. But this little angel seems to look like the brain stem. And underneath that, you see the scarf that's flowing from that angel? Well, there is the vertebral artery in exact placement in the human brain. And this leg coming down from that angel looks where the pituitary gland begins. And it goes on and on and on. But the key point is that God's arm, the creative arm of God, and this is the part that even if you knew nothing about that brain image, you would probably notice the fingers, right? God's finger reaching to us, an atom ready to be inspired and ignited into existence, right? That energy right there is the synaptic cleft. It's the neurotransmitters in our own brain that allow this neuroplasticity. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? It's the power in us, in our brain, to use our imagination, to use our creativity, to think new thoughts. Kids, when they're really little, have incredible neuroplasticity, right? And their minds are always growing and expanding and new neural pathways. That's why kids need a lot of stimulation. That's why we shouldn't have them sitting for hours in front of their phones. And I know this because I'm a speech therapist. And I work with children who have communication challenges, and I know the best way to help kids to develop language is to play, right? And there it is, because this synaptic cleft needs to be hopped and moved and energized. You can almost see the electrical work going on in your mind. That's what I was inspired by, because the frontal lobe of my brain and your brain, guess what it houses? The power of creativity and imagination. Isn't that cool? And people would look at that and they go, oh my gosh, Maryann, how in the world would Michelangelo have known about the human brain in 1511? And I say, Michelangelo might not have known, but God did. And you see, God is what's created Michelangelo, and the imagination that Michelangelo had was infused by the power of God. So why would it ever be impossible to think that an artist of 1511 could possibly paint something? Why did he choose that shape? I don't know. right? Why did he choose that form that somehow mysteriously, decades and centuries later, turns out to look like a lateral view of the human brain? Maybe that was the power of imagination flowing into him. So the article that I found this in was in Psychology Today, and it was written by a gentleman by the name of Neil Burton, who is a British psychiatrist, philosopher, a writer, and an educator. He wrote several books, one of which is called Master Your Mind, and the other one's called Heaven and Hell, The Psychology of Emotions. So he's a thinker, right? He's been thinking about the brain and the way we process in our own brains. So he said this: although the creation of Adam was painted around 1511, it is not until 1990 that Franklin Meshberger, a physician in Anderson, Indiana, publicly noted in the Journal of American Medical Association that the figures and shapes that make up the figure of God also make up an anatomically accurate figure of the human brain. The creation of Adam is traditionally thought of as illustrating the biblical creation narrative from the book of Genesis. We all know this, right? But we also know that we were created in God's image. Have you heard that? You're created in God's image. We've heard it. Do we own it? Do we own that concept? What does that mean, I was created in God's image? Do you mean the divine mind that created my mind and I are one? We are connected. I can own that. I'm created in God's image. Neil goes on to say this: God breathes life into Adam, the first man. That's this image. However, the hidden brain in the picture could radically change this interpretation of the painting. Michelangelo might simply be suggesting that our brain is a piece or extension of God. Or, more provocatively, he might be suggesting that God is the creation and projection of the human brain. You and me. If so, the picture should not be called the creation of Adam, but the creation of God. The creation of God through you, manifesting outward in your physical form. What a beautiful thought. Beautiful, beautiful truth. It is something to absorb day in and day out, time and time again, and remind ourselves. Emily Cady is one of our favorite truth teachers. We are going to be beginning a class called Lessons in Truth, and she wrote it decades and decades ago. It's starting in September if you want to sign up for that class. But I love Emily Cady's book, Lessons in Truth. And this is what she said: you are a vessel of divine life. You are a vessel of divine life. Whatever form or shape you have, remember always that God has imagined you into existence to carry and to express and share that divine life. The more that you open up to share this truth with others, the more the divine can flow into you and through you. As you spiritually expand, the creative goodness that is within you, you can continue to flow through your imagination and out into the universe. The more you expand spiritually, the more you contemplate who you really are. You are the divine life, the expression of God. And your form and shape is perfect. It's been called upon to come into this earth to bring the goodness of divine life. At some level, you realize this. There is no separation. This original picture that many have looked upon throughout the ages as being separated, God is up there. We are down here. You see how that just isn't true? His picture, Michelangelo really intended to show us that we are it. We are God manifesting now. So I just want to share that message with you this morning and to affirm you are imaginative, creative, divine life. Have a beautiful, wonderful week.
Oh my, all my papers are gone. No, I don't think you did. I think I put them here underneath for you to have the space. I just don't want to call in another song prior to really needing to call. In fact, we're done. No more music. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for that fabulous message. And certainly something to remind ourselves about, and I really love that Maryann brought that forth, was the fact, or Spirit brought it forth through Maryann, the fact that we need to own that idea that we are God, right? That we are Spirit. And take that into meditation. Take that on your walk and think about that and recognize, how much do I really believe that? To what degree is that true? And if you find yourself resistant to that belief, ask yourself why. Chances are you don't feel you're worthy. And that's some old paradigm that we have to shift, because we are worthy. We are one. We are one and we are connected, right? I mean, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that message, Maryann. So, imagination. If you could use your imagination right now to imagine a Unity Center of Pittsburgh burgeoning with people and activities and prosperity, what would that look like in your mind's eye? Just imagine that for a moment. And put that thought forth. What do you want when you come here? What activities do you want to see grow? As you put those thoughts out into the universe, they start to take hold, right? That's our power of imagination. That's the power of the Sistine Chapel as an image. Think about that, and think about that as you think about bringing forth your prosperity, your power of imagination, not only to recognize the prosperity that you have already received through Spirit and your good hard work, but that it continues to flow to us, because as we give, so shall we receive. We are going to have our collection now for the folks that have gathered here. If you'd like to make a donation, I know some people are already giving online, electronically, and that's great. It never hurts to throw in a few extra dollars and to affirm that prosperity. It is a practice. And while we do that, we will say our prosperity prayer. And that's a great way to bless your funds and to bless your thoughts. So say it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. So if the ushers can collect the funds. And we are going to have another song. Or two songs, actually. I see here on my sheet, my notes. But while they do that, just a thought or just a mention, there is going to be a question and answer service, portion of our service, if you will, afterwards. So we can keep explaining to you what this fundraiser is all about, how you can participate, and how things will work. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's always fun to get together, right? Who doesn't want to get together? Okay, so thank you for your generous donations. May they return to you a thousandfold. Why just 10 or 100? And also, let's also affirm those funds being used for the highest and best growth of this organization. And so it is. And now may we have our songs.
Okay, we're going to sing two more songs. The first one is There Is Only Love. Another one that I like very much. So please join in. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. And then our last song to send us out into the world feeling brighter and spiritually enlivened, I Am a Light. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. Okay, here we're gonna modulate, they call it. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Wonderful, everybody, wonderful.
Thank you, everybody. Let's have our closing prayer, and then we will turn the microphone over to Sherry to help us talk a little bit more about our big event coming up. So the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The power of God protects me. I am power. The presence of God watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Good morning, my Unity friends. How are you all doing? This is a beautiful day. Hasn't it been a great weekend? It's just been externally beautiful, so thank you all for manifesting that for us. It's been lovely. So I am going to try to not talk 100 miles an hour, maybe just 40 miles an hour today. We'll see how long this lasts. We're going to try. So there are basically 6 parts to our fundraiser. 6. The first is dinner, which is very important. To sign up for dinner, and we ask you to please go onto the website and sign up for dinner so that we know how much food to bring. And that will bring me to Vicki in just a minute, and she'll come up and talk to you a little bit about that. There's a silent auction where we'll have like written bids on things that we give to the church to repurpose in other people's homes, which is really great. And you can tell us what you're going to give us to do that with on the internet. Again, there's a button, just click that button. There's hosted events, which are calendar things that you want to do. Maybe you want to host a movie here, or just make a lot of popcorn and hang out together, maybe string popcorn. Whatever it is that you think might be fun for you and the rest of Unity family, you go online, you sign up to pick a time frame when you want to do that, and how many people, and what you think the estimated, per person love offering should be. And then during the party, we'll sign up to participate in those fun things. Then there's the basket bidding. So we give things away to put in pretty baskets that Donna will help us make, unlike her commercialized basket. She is really very good at basket making. So you can learn how to make a basket, and you can give things to put in those baskets so that we can have people actually bidding bid tickets to see if they'll win a basket. You can see all of this comes to like making some fiscal prosperity for the church, but it's all fun, so there's no D in it. We don't talk about funds. There will be a 50-50 raffle, so bring cash for that, and we'll all participate in that, and there'll be people walking around selling cool raffle tickets in multicolors, because that makes it more fun. And then there'll be the live auction, which is probably a little confusing at this point. We haven't talked about it a ton. So the live auction is if you have a service that you think might be valuable for other people, or I don't know, you have a cruise that you don't feel like taking and you would like to give to the church, or so many things I can think of that might be good, then we'll have an auctioneer up here. It'll be Dorothy and or Michael Mileski, and they'll be auctioning those things or people, services, off. And so there's a form to do that too. For example, I might give away some software training, how to use Google and all of the Google products in the world, which people are curious about, but maybe haven't had some exposure to. So maybe I'll stand up on a little thing here and I'll be auctioned off for a couple of hours. So that's the idea behind the live auction. Or maybe things that make more sense instead of being part of the silent auction, like, I don't know, a music kit or things like that. So that's really the sort of the 6 pieces to this big party. At the end of the day, we're really talking about a party where you walk around and see if there's cool stuff that you want to play with, and then you sign up for it. And that's basically it. So do I have any questions? And if I don't, I'm going to make my wife Vicki come up here and talk to you about the dinner. Yes, Patty?
I have a question. So is it more an auction of experiences rather than things?
The live auction is an auction of experiences.
And then the not live, I guess that's
The silent auction is, yes.
You'll see the items and then you put down what you're willing to bid.
Well, actually, you'll see the items, and there'll be like a bid increment. So it'll have a starting bid amount. You write your name, and you'll put your number, or not your name, but you'll write your number on the line. that represents you, so you don't know, well, actually, if you stand around and watch, you might know who it is owning each number, but you'll be like, that's something I really covet, and I want to take that home, so it will cause you to have to flutter through that item a few times to make sure that somebody has not outbid you until the time is up. But yes, you would write down your number against the amount that you're bidding, and there'll be like an increment thing, and so that'll just go on, and it's sort of silent, so, and no ripping off the paper, like the paper has to stay with the stuff.
And I just want to clarify, I'm the committee chairperson for the silent auction. If you have an item that's too big to haul into the church, to put on a table, but you would like, something...
Like a boat.
So you can take a picture of it, and we'll just have a picture of it on the table, but it'll be, there'll be a sheet with lines on it, and you'll be signing and incrementally. Well, and again, importantly, everything has a number, so it's all anonymous.
Don't you remember back, I don't know, when everybody said one day we'll all just be numbers? That day is coming. Vicki, come tell them about the dinner. It's here.
Hello. Hi. So we're going to have dinner. We're going to have spaghetti and a lot of fun stuff. So I'm looking for people to help to get this thing all pulled off. It means making the food. It means showing the day, being there the day of to help us plate up and to make drinks and make sure everybody gets what they need. So, so if you're at home or if you're here and you want to have dinner, you need to go to the website and sign up, and you'll make all your choices, what kind of noodles you want, what kind of sauce you want, and you'll be able to put in your basically your order. We want you to do this so we know how much food to make. I will make a little bit extra, but just in case. So so you need to make sure and sign up for that so everybody gets in, and we know you're going to put a time that you're going to be there. And so if everybody signs up for 6:15, I may be calling you and say, hey, can you do 6:45 or something like that? But other than that, you come in and you set up, you'll know what to expect. You'll have your choices already in, and basically your order will already be in. So I have one more request. If anybody is a vegetable gardener and they're growing zucchini, for example, I know there's a lot probably by August or September, way more than you can use, and you want to donate that, let me know about that. And we might even get together if you are helping out with me. Just make sure to go on the website and sign up so that we have our team together and in place. We want to do a little planning, so that we make sure that and have everything ready on the day of. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. Any questions? Yes.
On the choice of sauce, you're going to give us the kinds of sauce to choose from. You're not going to just 10 different kinds of sauce.
Oh no, there's two kinds of sauces. We're going to have, yeah, I know. Julia said a little bit about it, but so yeah, we're going to have a vegan sauce and a meat sauce, basically both red sauce. We're going to have regular noodles, and we're going to have zucchini noodles, and everybody will have, can get bread, and we'll have a salad and your drink. So, and we will have some little wine sippers. So that's going to be a choice that you can make. Yeah. Question?
So I'm realizing that it's about 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks away. So it's really not too far away.
Not too far.
Do you have a time frame that you need to know by this certain date so that you have enough time to get all the preparations together?
Absolutely. I would think maybe mid-August. So the 15th of August, if you want to sign up, let me know before the 15th of August, and so we can get organized and make sure that we know. Yes?
So sign up for the dinner, or RSVP, if you will, by mid-September, September 15th, I think you just said. August, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
September 11th, yes.
Anyway, August 15th. But you don't have to have dinner. You can come after dinner and
Yes.
participate in the rest of the fun.
Yes. What she said, you do not have to have dinner. You can come and just participate in the other stuff. But why would you not want spaghetti? Who doesn't want spaghetti? Okay. You're good. Any more questions? Yes.
Yeah, what are the hours, the total time of the event? Is it at the beginning?
5 to 9 is the entire event, but we're going to do dinner in the beginning. So 5 till, what did we say, 6:30? 5 to 6:30. So it's an hour and a half window. We'll basically all be eating together, but just we're trying to space it out a little bit so that we can get it to you and you're not standing waiting in line. But while you're here, you can still go around and walk around and see all the things for bid, and we can put in a little. There's going to be a band, yeah. We're going to have live music. Yeah, Buffalo Rose, and they are amazing. They're really good. So we'll probably have a few Buffalo Rose fans, I imagine, that will come as well. Should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun. Any other questions? Yes.
Are the zucchini noodles for gluten intolerant people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm one of those kids. So, any other questions? Sold. Okay, I guess we're done. Anyone else need the mic?
I just say, like, as an example of the silent auction, like, I'm going to host a luncheon in December at my home, like a sing-along for Christmas carols. That's just an idea. It doesn't have to be something
Sing along.
today or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good idea. To sing along for Christmas carols. I like that.
That's the live auction.
That's the live auction. Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it's called, but that's one of the examples.
Yeah. And I.
That could be any time. Like, so I just thought
Exactly.
December would be fun to have a sing-along and have a luncheon at my
That's a
home.
great idea.
And then whoever wants to bid on it or pay for it, it's all for unity, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to host drumming and maybe do it here or maybe outside if it's the weather's. Yeah. Good idea. Good idea.
Sometimes people are having fun, they go to local businesses like hair salons or a coffee shop. And
You want to address this, Sherry? I think I'm done here.
they'll donate a haircut or a shampoo.
So right now we're not doing any outreach to other businesses. I think that's a fabulous idea. I think this is our first annual fundraiser party. So the intent is that we're going to do this every year and we're going to get better and better at it. And it's going to be more and more fun, and it's going to create more and more small groups, which is really the lifeblood of our family here, like getting us an opportunity to know one another and to have some fun together and not just wait for Sundays. I love that idea, though. I think we should write it down and we should think about it for next year. Yes.
I'm Johnny, and I'm a really new here. How new is Unity Center Pittsburgh?
Oh, we've been here since 1933. Well, yeah, the fundraiser is a new idea. And I think COVID has caused sort of a restart for everybody. My personal opinion. Oh, so humble. Is there anything else? These are great questions, and I really do appreciate your asking them. Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope you all have just a marvelous, marvelous week, and I love seeing you all here. It's been really great, and I really love the talk, and I really love the music. Everything was just great, and the prayer was lovely. Just everything was really nice. And thank you up in the technician room. I appreciate that, too. All right, I love you all, and I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.